I just got everything new.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
But then if you're the older sibling, you also get everything new. So it's almost the same thing, right?
Yeah, and my
Like, it
dad
doesn't matter.
he would always say, he's like, look, man, that's the perk of being the first oldest.
Yeah.
Even though you have all the fucking responsibility and the PTSD, the benefit is you get first dibs, bro.
You get first dibs on everything.
Welcome to the Worst Asian Podcast. Lingjie's telling me I gotta go louder. Where two Asian American millennials talk all things Asian. He is smiling right across from me. My name is Ben. That's Lingjie He. How you doing, bro?
Maybe that was a little bit too loud. You can dial it down just a smidge.
God damn it.
Just a smidge. Just a smidge.
I was projecting very well there.
I know. How are you doing this month, Ben? It is extremely cold.
I'm doing very well, man. Yeah, it is fucking chilly, dude.
I've given up on my shorts, guys. So if you enjoyed looking at my my legs for the past 4 or 5 months when I was wearing shorts, now I've changed into my fall/winter attire, aka sweatpants for the remainder of the year.
Lingjie's gonna be starting wearing things tighter so you can see more of the bulge.
I'm actually wearing things looser.
Oh, all right. I thought you were gonna be like, I am. How did you notice? I was like,
No.
I noticed that bulge, bro.
Remember I told you my size during my entire life, or at least my adult life.
Whoa.
No,
Sir,
no,
hey,
no,
sir.
no.
Sir, this is a kid's program.
The size of my apparel that I wear,
You're a piece.
my apparel has not changed basically my entire life. So my shirt used to be a size small.
Okay.
Maybe like, sometimes it'd be a little bit too tight. I have to go up to a medium depending on the brand.
Like medium.
And my pants were like a certain size as well. And I think this past summer, after getting like a couple of larger shirts, I realized it is so much more comfortable just to be in something that's slightly oversized.
Oh, yeah. All the time, dude.
Even if it's like a larger style small or just a medium overall, I feel like now I'm at the point in my life where I kind of just want to be very, very comfortable.
Pretty much what Lingjie's saying is that, like, as he's going to grow older, I'm going to just start seeing wearing like a big like hospital gown. Like fucking just one. It's going to be large.
Or like a robe.
Yeah, it's just a bathrobe every day.
Or I just revert back to my early 2000s style where everything was baggy. I'll bring back the Echo shirts.
Oh man, that would
the giant
be cool,
North
bro.
Face puffers.
Yo, Echo shirts were really well made. I remember the material, like the cotton and stuff.
Yeah, because they were they felt like they were extremely expensive back then. I don't know if they were actually relatively expensive.
Yes. What's it?
You know what's coming back?
Oh, what is coming back?
North Face puffer jackets, the two-tone colored ones.
Oh,
have you seen those?
I remember those.
Like the ones we used to have.
Do you still have yours?
I never had a two-tone North Face puffer jacket.
I don't think I could afford one. I think I had a South Pole. Remember South Pole?
Was South Pole cheaper?
South Pole was cheaper.
Was it significantly cheaper?
I think so. Yeah, bro. Yeah, dude. That's what I don't want to say it, but I think so.
It was pigeon down inside.
Pigeon? It's just pigeon feathers and
pigeon
shit.
feathers. So when it pokes out, it's light gray, black, and white tones of feathers.
I didn't know what the term down meant, actually.
Down?
Yeah, like I didn't know it meant the
filling.
feather. Yeah. And all the times, they put like the number on like the sleeves. It's like 600, 700.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's the amount of like pigeons they put in your fucking jacket. I didn't know that.
But the more down it is, the warmer it is.
Yeah, dude.
We have this one blanket that my mom gave me, and she loves importing blankets from China. And she tells me this is some kind of authentic goose down that they don't allow you to legally stuff into a blanket into the
What the fuck?
So
what kind of duck is this, dude?
I don't know.
It sounds top secret, like fucking. It sounds more illegal than like foie gras, bro. What the fuck?
It's some kind of duck/goose down that's normally not used in America. So she's like, this is really, really high quality. And not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it's extremely warm.
Oh, like you could tell, like it's
to the
well
point where
insulated.
in the winter sometimes, if I wanted to, I could sleep in my underwear under that down
Damn,
and still be warm.
so that's what you're gonna be wearing when you get older. That's what you're gonna say when you need to get comfortable. You're like, just that underwear and socks.
Illegal Chinese goose down jacket.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, it's cold.
It's cold.
It's extremely cold now.
Did you Did you have a little fun over the cold
Yes,
weekend?
I had a good weekend. Thank you
Yeah.
for asking.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law took my son for a sleepover.
With permission, I
With
hope.
permission.
Oh, thank God.
With permission. And so it was just me and my wife this weekend, and she took the weekend off of work too. So because my son was away and she was off of work, we actually spent a couple of days, just the two of us, which
Yes.
I say this to people that have kids. It's really good to just get away from your kids every once in a while.
Yeah.
Not because you necessarily don't like your kids or just want to be away from them, but I think it kind of helps reset.
Yeah.
And, as a side benefit, you get to rebuild that relationship with your partner that you normally wouldn't. So we went hiking, which I would be 50-50 taking my son. and we stayed out late in the city, to go out to dinner and stuff, which I would definitely not do with my son. So just having him away for a couple of days, it was like nice just to reset.
I saw what's it, your wife make a post about it. I think it was your wife that made the post on it. And I was sliding through it.
If it's not my wife, who is it?
Maybe you. Maybe I don't know.
It's just the two of us out.
It's your personal photographer. He's just following you, taking all these selfies. But I was like, oh, you guys did a lot. I saw the hiking. Lingjie, yo, I just want to say, I noticed every food picture you guys took. I felt like I saw a lot of Wagyu, by the way. Just a lot
Wagyu?
A lot. I'm like, man, I see Lingjie's face like just smiling right next to a nice slab of fucking A5 Wagyu, bro.
It was actually nice. We went back to that all-you-can-eat Wagyu place in the city, Hyung, where they serve actual legitimate A5 Wagyu from Miyazaki region. Delicious. But every time I go,
yes, please tell this part.
this is very relatable material for the listeners.
We mean the 1%er. Thank you for your contribution.
Every time I go back to this all-you-can-eat Wagyu place, every time I eat less and less. Because I think my tolerance for it gets worse and worse because it's so fatty and so rich, and to the detriment of the actual restaurant, they don't have much else on the menu.
Yeah,
they have just a few things on the menu. They have like namyeong. They have this.
Oh, that doesn't help, bro.
But it's such a small portion that I can't justify getting it.
Right.
Literally, it feels like 2 slurps for $30. And they have
slurps. This. She's expensive. If she's doing 2 slurps for $30, yo, that's not a steal,
you see,
bro.
This week the penis references.
Oh shit,
did not start from me.
You're right.
Did not start from me.
Sorry, missus.
The only other thing on the menu was a bibimbap, a Stonecaster bibimbap for $130. Ben's pausing. $130.
I
for some kind of uni bibimbap.
Damn, you got it. You got 2.
No, I didn't.
You got 2.
I was
damn 130. Not 13, $130 fucking dollars.
I don't even know how big the portion was, but
yeah, bro.
I was joking with my wife. We can't get this because if I were to spend $130 on this, I would rather just take another person to the restaurant for the all-you-can-eat.
Yo, honestly, yeah.
Because the all-you-can-eat is $160 per person, so it's $160 for another human being to eat with you.
Yo, you're
or
right.
for a bowl of bibimbap.
Holy shit!
I couldn't justify getting that either.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Insane.
Is there like 3 pounds of uni? And that shit's
no
like,
way. You know it's
right?
not. You know it's not. So the only thing that I got was a $6 bowl of white rice times 2. I needed something to cut through the fat.
Right.
Because they just give you a kimchi, a salad, and a scallion salad, which is actually really good with the salt and
like it's like thinly julienne and stuff like that. Those are good.
It's actually good with the meat, but I needed a carb of something to absorb all the fat. So I got a way overpriced bowl of rice.
Damn, dude. I mean, it still sounds like it's very decadent, but
it's very decadent.
I love how out of our group, when Lingjie does tell us he's there, it's funny because Lingjie always swears by. He's like, "Yo, I'm good. I don't need to go back." And then lo and behold,
I always go back.
This guy, you're doing every season so far, bro. Like that's the average rate you've been going, man.
It was very last minute because this restaurant tends to be hard to book in advance.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get reservations pretty easily.
Yeah, me and my wife just booked it the day before, but it was a late night slot. It was like a 9-something slot.
Yeah,
but still, we were surprised that we got it. So over breakfast, 2 days prior, my wife was like, "Do you really want to go? Because they actually have an opening right now."
Oh shit!
And I was like, "Fuck it, let's just go." When else are we gonna have the chance to? Because my son used to be free when he was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's over 5, so he would have to give a charge the full price.
Oh, I did not know that.
The first 2 times we took my son because we felt like it was worth it because we got like a third person for free, and he thoroughly enjoys it too, right?
Oh man,
now if he goes and he looks way beyond 5 years old, so I don't think we can lie and get away with it.
Did you you said you mentioned you went hiking? Did you go hiking after the meal or did you
before?
Go? Oh shit!
So this was the post-hike meal. I was looking forward to it.
Right. I was gonna say I would love to do a hike after eating that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I was actually trying to invite our gorgeous friend on the highway to the hike.
Shout out to him
because he's been asking to go hiking so much, but he couldn't make it that day because he was doing OT.
Yeah, he's been doing really well with his diet. Speaking of, he would love to go there.
How was your diet, Ben? Speaking of, you told me this morning you lost some weight.
I did seem to be. I'm losing weight. I am trying to beat my gorgeous friend.
Beat your gorgeous friend in terms of how much weight you lose.
Yes. Yeah, so we made a bet. We're pretty much just talking about.
Wait, is the bet still on?
I don't think so.
You guys haven't talked about the bet for 3-4 months.
Honestly, like at this point, I don't mind if like we just have dinner and like I just treat him at least to
I was
a
gonna say
dinner.
as long as the two of you pay, it's fine.
Wow.
For the rest of us,
Wow, you're gonna be like, yo, we're going back to Hyun
we'll
again.
go back to Hyung again. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been doing really, really well. I guess he's down by like 20 pounds. I should be down.
I thought he said close to 30.
30? Oh shit.
I don't know.
Damn, I got to catch up now. Cause
maybe not, because I don't remember him being actually near. Should I throw out numbers here? That's fine. He was nearly 300. That's fine. But I don't remember him being at 300. I just remember he was nearly 300.
Yeah, that's what I remember too. I was talking about it. He was like around 3 or 290, but he's definitely down to 270.
Right. And
I haven't seen him in a while. You've seen him. He
looks significantly skinnier.
Yeah, you said that you like, yo, I might want to make out with him. I was like, whoa,
maybe.
He's looking good.
You taste like semiconductors.
Semiconductor. He's a mechanic for people that don't understand the sexual.
No, he's Taiwanese. That's
okay, even better. He's Taiwanese. So there
he's a Taiwanese mechanic. So he actually is involved with semiconductors.
Yes,
to extent.
I am down by 25 pounds.
I'm surprised that you lost more weight than him.
Yeah, considering, I know. The higher you are, it's supposed to be like just...
Plus, he's been taking his diet more seriously. You, on the other hand, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you don't talk about it as much.
I pray and then wake up and then go on the scale. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm so stressed and depressed. I don't need to eat.
But you've been praying your whole life. Have you switched which gods that you pray to?
I think so. So I am a man of Islam. Hamsa Malaika.
Whatever works for your diet.
Yeah. To our Muslim listeners out there,
maybe
pray.
Maybe it's the lack of pork that's helping with your diet now.
Maybe. But what's it? Speaking of pork,
congrats.
Thank you. I realized I'm doing a terrible job segueing.
Oh yes, there's an actual episode. This is our monthly bullshit miscellaneous topic non-Asian episode in which Ben does the intro and Ben does the moderating, and we're doing a fun little topic today. Ben, what is this non-Asian topic that we're talking about today?
So guys, I think we can all relate to this, hopefully. But we decided to make the topic about how, we talk about what are the differences, the pros and cons maybe of growing up single, the only child, as opposed to growing up with annoying brothers and sisters.
Statistically,
yes,
our audience should be in either category. 100% of our of the listeners should be in one category or the other.
And if you're not, you just might be a ghost for Halloween. That's the only other explanation.
Wait. Let me think for a second. Is there a category that we're missing that we're going to be mean towards if we don't? No, you have to have siblings or no siblings, whether they're past or not, right?
Yeah.
We have to. You have to either be an only child or have siblings. Period.
I'm trying to think about it.
You have to, even if you're an orphan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or adopted maybe. What about adopted?
But you still are either the only kid adopted or you have other siblings.
Yeah.
And if you're like an orphan on the street, you're still an only child.
Shit.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we
include everyone.
100% baby. 100% Mark baby.
I'm just trying to make sure that 100% of the audience can relate to something that either one of our camps has to talk about today.
Yes. So Lingjie, I just want to know, like, tell me about you growing up and stuff. Did you have a brother or sister, dude, or? I'm such a good moderator.
I'm an only child. Ben has one younger brother.
Yes.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in our episode. This is our favorite part of the show. Ranting and raving.
We're at like the 11, 12 minute mark. Oh, okay. Do you want to go over pros first or cons first? How do you want to do this?
Okay.
Did you write down something or no?
I wrote a couple things down, but I think it's just like spin off the head.
Let's talk about the cons then.
Yeah. So
you want to give me your first con? And
first con.
I guess we can go back and forth.
Yeah. So first con, and it's just speaking with my brother in general. My brother uses.
Actually, shut up. I have some stats.
All right, guys.
Hold on.
Stats and facts.
Stats and facts.
Let's go.
According to Pew Research Center.
Puberty?
The Pew Research Center, the average American family downsized from 3.7 children in 1960. So that's about 70. Oh my God, that's 60 years ago. 60 years ago, the average family size was 3.7 kids.
Holy shit.
And now the current average family size, you want to take a guess is?
1.4.
1.9.
Damn.
So the average family size is under 2 kids now where we are. And 20% of households are an only child family.
20%.
20% of current households are an only child family.
What
and the single child family is the fastest growing family unit in America. So, 2 kids, 3 kids. The single child family unit is the fastest growing among those categories.
Right.
So you can see where like most people are having only one kid. And I have a guess as to why they're only having one kid. Ben, let's say it on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Money.
Aliens. Money. Yeah.
Okay.
They're putting microchips in us.
Cash. It's too expensive to have kids. People are having kids later. People are having kids less. Those that want to have kids can't afford, nor can they mentally afford to have like multiple kids. Right?
Yeah,
There's a big commitment to having lots of kids. So me included, currently my situation is I have an only kid, and I am an only kid.
Yeah.
You can see where it makes sense that like it's the fastest growing population is the single kid household.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating considering like we don't have that one child policy. But you know, it's just, hey, you could pop as many babies as you can. But it's really about
can you afford it?
Yeah, can you afford it? I can't afford. I'm gonna just borrow kids. You know, so it's like I'm going to the public library.
You're gonna rent out the kids.
And I'm gonna be like, you know what? I feel like having Chinese baby today, so I'm gonna rent the Chinese baby for like. Just coffee on his glass.
Sorry, I'm smoking my coffee.
You know,
I don't know if I should laugh at this joke.
But yo, you know what's crazy? I just found out a coworker of mine, right? His grandma. Guess how many kids his grandmother had?
Grandma would be 2 generations from now. So if we said the last generation is having 3.7, 2 generations from now must be having 4 to 5.
It's high, dude.
Is he or she Korean?
He is the Latino community.
I'm gonna say 6 kids.
Yo,
hold on a sec. Is it double digits?
It's double digits.
Get the fuck out of here,
bro. I asked him 3 fucking times. I was like, I need to see a fucking picture. 14.
14. His grandma had 14 kids,
and she's tiny, bro.
Damn.
Yo, she popped out 14 of that. That's crazy, bro. That's a baseball team. Is it?
That's more than a baseball team.
Yeah, that's a soccer team. Yo, that's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
14, bro. I was like, God bless her heart. But
yeah, seriously.
You know, but it just really shows you, like, I remember also how I met this girl, and really sweet girl and stuff, but she was not from here. She was also Spanish too.
Yeah.
But she came here and stuff, and I think she was 22 at the time. And she was freaking out. She was just venting to me about how she's like, Ben, I need to have kids. Like, I'm already old.
She was 21 at the time.
21, 22. And I was like, what the fuck are you smoking, lady? Like,
yeah.
I was like, dude, like, you got so much time. She's like, no, Ben, like, in my country, and you know, at my age, you know, we have kids even, you know, like
younger.
By 18. I'm like, so she's like, I'm behind. I'm like the black sheep of the family.
But did she want kids, or did she feel obligated?
She did want kids.
Okay, so that's different then.
Yeah.
If you obligated to just do it because of cultural reasons or family reasons, that's one thing. That's also another reason why people are having kids later. Besides the whole financial part, they want more time to themselves, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's about job, personal interest, or traveling, whatever it is, they want time to themselves. And unfortunately, when you have a kid, you are kind of anchored down.
Right.
It's a very nice, cute, bubbly anchor, but you are anchored down to a certain situation for decades, if not longer. So I can see why people just want to have like their own sense of life and everything. That's why we have friends, including you, that are like, gonna hit 40 soon, Ben, and still, holy, you know, my wife was just asking me, wait, was it my wife?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my wife asked about you all the time, but I think my mom was asking about you.
Really?
Like a couple months back, we were talking about something, right?
Okay.
And she was like...
something from K-drama.
And she was asking about what the hell is going on with you and women and marriage and everything.
Oh, shit.
And I was just like...
oh, man, what did you tell her, dude?
I just said, Ben's having a lot of fun.
Oh, my God.
That's all I said.
And then
I was like, you know, but Ben also has more responsibilities. He's got to take care of his family to a higher percentage than the rest of us does.
Right.
And then my mom said, you know, she said some nice things about it. She's like, yeah, see, Ben has to like be more responsible than you guys need to be, right? I don't ask you for anything, do I?
Oh, man.
She was saying that to me.
No, man, I do. My parents, God bless their heart, man. They're very patient with me. I fuck up a lot.
Yes, but then you also are like a big anchor, pillar for the family too, in terms of like the household, both financially and everything else. Yeah. That's what my mom meant, that you have these responsibilities, and maybe that's why you're not married yet. But I told her no. It's just it's just because you're having a lot of fun.
God bless her heart. Thank you for that. Your mom was always really, really sweet. But I also remember, you know, a gorgeous friend on the highway, his dad was like asking, say, hey, Ben, so what about you? Why, you know, that's my shitty impression of his dad.
I was gonna say.
I don't know why I'm talking like he's fucking Seinfeld. So, hey, when are you gonna have kids? Blah blah.
But he was asking about that 10 years ago, and now he would be asking the same kinds of questions now.
I think he kind of tells. I was like wondering if our a fat friend. Sorry, dude. Like he was like saying like, oh, Ben Juno, he's having a lot of fun too. Cause like the way his dad asked me, he kind of has that grin look. Like he looks around first, he's like, so
he's looking for his wife.
Yeah, it's like, so what do you usually do on the weekends? Shit, you know? I was like, nothing much, sir.
I guess transitional question.
Yeah.
When you do have kids, do you see yourself having just one kid or multiple kids? Honestly, real question. No borrowing Chinese kids from the library comments. Like, do you really see yourself having one child or multiple?
I want a kid. I was just talking. So I finally got to visit my cousin. Shout out to his daughter. She's very adorable. So she was premature. Very, very, very premature.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, if you have a premature baby, once you bring it, you can't bring it right away. It has to be at the hospital to be monitored.
Right, for a long period of time.
Yeah, and then afterwards, she was able to come home with them. But I couldn't see him for a long time.
Oh, because he was busy dealing with all that.
Yeah, and, you know, I have, like, stains and scents, and, you know, like, that. I don't want to bring that into their home.
You're trying to say you have germs, not the scents. It's the germs and the viruses that
the viruses.
This guy that are cultivating themselves on your body.
Yo, this guy. I have a story.
No amount of lavender soap can kill off all these viruses.
Lingjie's just saying that because of my recent trip to Paris. But yeah, I got to see her fucking adorable baby. But I remember like how she constantly needs attention, just like when you had your son. And I was like,
all babies need attention. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, it's gonna be hard. But I was just telling my cousin's wife, I was like, I'm honestly, I'd rather just deal with the kid by myself, just be like a single dad.
Why?
I was joking, but I was like just thinking, I was like, my wife is probably gonna be like yelling at me because I'm gonna be fucking up so much.
Oh, you mean so that no one's behind your shoulder?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I'm gonna do it my way or some shit.
It's like, Ben, why is the diaper on the head?
Why is the diaper on the head and the body? It's like I'm using the diaper as clothing as well. Like it's like I was like, I'm being efficient here.
Yeah.
But I would like to have 2 kids max.
Would you rather have 1 or 2 kids?
I'd rather, if I could, I would like to have 2.
You would like to have 2?
Yeah, I like kids.
You know what's funny? I feel everyone that is an only child thinks it's okay to have to have just 1 kid themselves.
Really? Yeah.
And people that have siblings usually think they would rather have multiple kids.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. Because if you just ask like your friends who are only kids, they're okay with 1, or people that have multiple kids, they're like, yeah, of course we need multiple kids.
Yeah.
I seem to think that's the case when I talk with people.
I can see that psychologically, how it just manifests itself like that. Yeah, the whole idea, like most times when you ask, it's like, oh, I want like a boy and a girl. But, at this point now also, it's just like having a healthy baby, right?
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah, like your son, he's healthy, right? In the percentile, weight, height, all that good stuff, right?
He's on the jackass side, but that's not a percentage scale.
Are you knocking
I'm trying to knock on something made of wood here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the floor, dude. Your whole floor is made out of wood.
These nice white oak floors.
Yo, this guy.
Solid white oak.
Lingjie just did asthma, ASMR. He's like, hey, guys, hold on. Knock, knock, knock. He's saying what it is.
Okay, 2 kids max. Yeah, I think that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, like, you're no dad. Did you ever thought like, yo, I could do 3? Did you ever
Hell no.
Lingjie's like, do you know how much money that is, motherfucker?
It's not even money. It's the mental commitment to it. Because nowadays, people of our generation have kids. And I've talked with my son's classmates' parents and stuff. We are more committed to our kids in a way, committed and involved with our kids in a way that our parents were not. Whether it's because of time and whatever preferences, whatever the reason was.
Yeah.
Our parents were not as committed to us and invested in our days as our generation of parents seem to be.
Right.
So the amount of commitment and time I put into my son, I don't think I could do that times 2.
Yeah. Oh, yo.
If it was more
maybe
like...
it was a little older, maybe,
right.
You think?
If it was more like your parents, my parents, that generation, where they're more laissez-faire, hands-off with their kids, then you could have multiple kids and like have to deal with it. But, I take my single kid, my one kid to practices, to basketball, to swimming. I do homework with them after school. I play with them.
You do Pokemon with him? You legit do Pokemon.
Yeah, we do lots of stuff together.
Yeah,
and that requires a lot of time.
It's like Lingjie's grooming the ultimate best friend. Like he's gonna be like a machine.
Oh, one quick story, and then we'll get into the pros and cons.
Okay.
Because the Mets are in the playoffs, I've been watching more baseball with my son, And just hearing my son throw around baseball terms, I'm like, my fucking heart just melts. He's like,
oh, that's so cool.
we want a fly ball in this situation.
Said that?
I'm just picturing a fly ball or a ground ball is good, but how do we get it out in the ground ball?
Well, he could say like,
well, because I've been like explaining it to him as we're watching more.
Wow, dude.
So it's like just hearing him say these little things and like rooting for the Mets as they're like doing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a strike. That's good. Oh, that's a foul ball.
That's
and that's
really
a strike.
cool.
It's these things that like I am trying to groom my own like my own like watch party friend.
Watch party friend, like the ultimate watch party friend.
Yeah. He'll have his non-alcoholic beer next to him or something.
Oh, that's really cool, man. Wow, like, and that's the thing too. Is it fucked up for me to say like, depending on how the child is around, that parent?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, you guys suck as parents. Like I judge.
Yo,
I judge, bro.
All parents will judge other parents.
They do, right?
But you need to keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
Me and my wife judge people nonstop.
Yo.
But I assume that all parents do that, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's just that we all have different styles of parenting. We all
Yes.
have different levels of tolerance, commitment,
How we like to hit them.
involvement.
Yes. Different styles.
Different
It's like
styles.
different kung fu styles of like beating your children.
But I try not to. I will criticize, but I will not judge other people, if that makes kind of sense. Because I know like they have different circumstances, whatever.
Because like, same thing with me. I would never say it to your face, but
You'll say a lot behind their face.
Yeah. I'll read it in my journal. And the thing is, like, I do know how hard it is to be a kid. Not a kid. Well, it is hard being a kid, but being a parent. And it's crazy because like sometimes I see my friends actually lose their shit, and I never see that. I'm like, whoa, Brandon. He's not real.
Yeah.
But it's like, Brandon, bro, like, yeah, dude, I don't think you should have thrown your kid into the pool, bro. Like, dude, he spilled it. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. Like, and it's a gift and a curse, I guess you can say.
It is, yeah.
I'm more worried about losing my hair once I have a kid. That's what I'm really afraid of.
Just shave it. Oh,
I guess.
We get to a point. Okay, Ben, what is your first con about being
being
a sibling?
Sibling. Yeah.
About having siblings.
Sometimes I do like to do it anyway, but sometimes you have to share all the time.
Sharing, yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing material things or sharing your parents' attention?
I never really wanted or tried to get my
parents'
parents'
You wanted less
attention.
of your dad's attention?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, my dad is, oh man, he's annoying, bro. Like,
you're like to your little brother, you can take all of his attention if you want.
It took a while for me to like condition my dad because he's the ultimate liar. So he'll be like, he'll catch me in the passing. He'll be like, hey, quick, 5 minutes. I'm like, Cap, that's bullshit. That 5 minutes always turns into 50 minutes. My dad
can you just tag in your brother at that point?
Bro, and you probably won't even notice the difference. Like, that's the crazy part, bro.
He's like, Ben just suddenly lost weight.
I could put like a cardboard cutout of me in front of me and walk away and he'll still think it's me. Like,
he just needs to vent.
My dad loves to talk, bro. Like, he could talk for hours every day. It's nuts.
Maybe he should start a podcast.
He could do a podcast by himself. Like, he could pretend he's talking to another person.
Lots of people do that. He should do that.
He'll excel at it. But my dad, like, I never really wanted his attention, but if I really needed something, I'll ask him.
Yeah. The sharing part.
The sharing part is mainly just like with my brother. Like, if we have to, like, and I'm a fat ass. Like, if it's like, oh, I'm calculating, like, oh, that's not enough food for two of us here.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like little things like that. So
was there never enough portions to go around? This is not a poverty joke, but I'm just being serious.
No, we ate very well. You could tell me and my brother are fat, so we were fed very, very well. And
so you were fighting over a mountain of food still. That doesn't make sense.
Like, you know when you're like the only child, I guess this is a similarity. It's like, you kind of just want everything for yourself, right? In a way, like you're like, okay, like, yeah, I should have that 22-ounce porterhouse, whatever,
by myself.
Yeah, I don't have to share it or whatever. But with my brother, it's always like, oh, my mom will give me money. She'll be like, oh, it's your responsibility to take, like, figure out what you guys are gonna do.
Oh, that's because that's an older brother responsibility
and
too.
And then it's like, okay, like, I have $20, and it's like we're looking at the menu at, like, McDonald's, trying to figure out. And I realized also the disparity of my fatness because one time I was with another friend that was a brother and sister combination. We go to McDonald's, right? So I buy my brother his own meal and I buy my own fat ass a meal. Like, I think it was a large too, right?
Yeah.
And I remember what they got is that they got the 2 cheeseburger meal. So they had 1 cheeseburger each.
And they split the
fries.
Yeah.
And they're very thin. And I was like, this is why I'm fat. I was like, this is why I'm a fucking fat
You
ass.
should have gotten this.
I felt so guilty. I was eating right next. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even think about that. I was like, I'm fucking fat, bro.
So as an only child, when my mom gave me, let's say that same $10,
Okay, yeah,
which she did, right? She would give it to me on Sundays. I used to be home alone sometimes, and I would go do the laundry. So I would push the laundry cart to Northern Boulevard by the laundromat that's near your house on 140.
I know what you're talking about.
I shouldn't say the address because
next to the Domino's. How about that? Let's just say next to Domino's.
Yeah. And then I used to put in the laundry, walk down to Burger King, get myself a meal.
Oh man!
And because I'm an only kid, I would have leftovers in which I would buy snacks with to bring back home afterwards.
Oh man!
After the laundromat, so I could fold the clothes at home and eat snacks, and then have to take the laundry back to the laundromat
because you got all the crumbs and shit.
I got all the Cheetos back on the laundry.
And you're like, Mom, this laundry machine place sucks. Like, I need more money for food. That's crazy.
So I didn't ever have to share whenever my mom gave me money. It was never this complicated math formula about, hey, do I have enough to give to my younger brother? It's like, hey, how many bags of chips do I want to buy today?
Oh man. Do you remember the good old days when like you could buy a bag of chips, those like really bad like dessert like yo-yos or ho-hos, whatever they're called, and like that little juice thing that looked like a barrel, you know?
Yeah, the grenade juice 25 cents thing. Yeah.
And that was only like 80 cents.
I used to take some of my leftover money on Saturdays.
Yeah.
When I used to go over to a gorgeous friend on the highway's house in the mornings to watch Saturday morning cartoons. I would go buy bags of chips, go to his house, and we watch Saturday morning cartoons together.
Oh man. I'm trying to remember. I remember there was times we went over your place too to
do the exact same thing too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that's one of the cons is definitely like having to share sometimes, but it was never a problem. My brother was always very like just like easy to get along with. That was the thing. He was very like, I guess, teamwork oriented from the start, or unless I was just a bully.
I was going to say, maybe he didn't have a choice.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't have a choice, and I apologize.
He wants to be fed a certain thing, but he's like, I just want to be fed, and I hope he gives me some of the food, period.
And for the record, you know, I'm just going to talk shit about him right now. He's never going to listen, but I remember there was time where like I was sharing the room with, when my aunt came to visit, so I was sharing his room. And I remember in his room, I was like, yo, motherfucker, you have all these snacks. Like, you've been hiding all this shit.
Oh, he has actual food in there.
He has such...
He's like a squirrel getting ready for the winter.
yeah. Dude,
he have bags of nuts.
Trail
mix.
Yeah, he has snacks I never even heard of. I was like, when did Oreos make like a fucking like churro snack? I'm like, where'd you get this shit? And like, he's like, oh, you want it? So I was like, it would have been fucking nice, yeah, if you just offered. So I would say sharing.
Maybe you weren't good at sharing, so now in his adult life, he's choosing not to share with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess the way that I'll work this conversation is I'll just piggyback off of you, so it's like
exactly.
the same topic.
What about
A pro about being an only child is I didn't have to share.
Exactly.
I just got everything. As much as my parents could afford to give me whatever they could, they just gave it to me. So that was definitely the pro about being an only kid, which is, I guess, just being spoiled overall.
Yeah.
Both with attention, their time, and just whatever finances that they could give you in terms of an allowance or food and stuff like that. Like, I never really had to share.
Yeah.
If anything, I stole food from my parents' mouths. You know what I mean? You know, like, parents know this sometimes. When you go out with your kid to eat, you'll leave the good portions for them.
Yeah.
If you have like a steak, you'll eat the bone part, but you'll give like the rest of the meat.
Like the rib cap or something.
Yeah. I'll give my son the rib cap and my wife will eat the bone.
Yeah.
It's like we do things now.
She's boiling the bone, making like a bone stock like broth and shit.
And I guess in her mind, she says she likes the meat next to the bone, which tends to be like the most tender.
It's supposed to be most flavorful,
But I also think it's a part because she knows I don't eat the bone area and she's saving the other part for me and my son that she does it. Yeah. And my mom, now that I think about it, does the exact same thing. She quote unquote enjoys eating the meat near the bone. But I feel like, you know, growing up, it was just to save more of the real protein for us, right? That's a good thing.
That's probably the main reason. I was gonna say, one thing I do enjoy doing is a pro, I guess you could say, of having a sibling is the idea of like gift giving or like the hand-me-downs. You know, sometimes I think I'm a great older brother in the sense of like giving, you know, shit that I don't need anymore, or just like
you think that's a pro to get hand-me-downs?
I mean, it's not a pro, I would say, but I think like if I had an older sibling, I think I would be like, yo, fucking give me that shit. You know,
you talking about clothing and stuff?
Yeah, unless I'm just giving you something really whack. You know what I mean?
Like worn down.
Yeah, or
I was gonna say Here's my 3-year-old jacket, and it's like scuffed up at the elbows or something,
that'd be
right?
terrible. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, like
It's a pro and a con, I guess.
I remember one time, I was in his room and like, he had this like jacket, like this down, what do you call those jackets? The long ones, peacoats, right? Peacoats, right?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so fucking peacoat, whatever. He had.
You can tell that we don't own this type of coat.
Yeah, we're not very fashionable. So and I was just like looking at it. I was like, this is a nice ass jacket. So when'd you get this? I was like, dude, you gave that to me. I was like, and I looked at the tag.
Yours.
I was like, oh shit, I'm too fat. I couldn't fit into this. I remember now.
If you're siblings and you are similar sizes, you can almost double your wardrobe.
Yeah, exactly.
For free. And like certain things like a jacket, a coat, even like hoodies and stuff, you can kind of like alternate wearing back and forth. It's not like you're sharing underwear or socks or something, right?
Speaking of clothing, I remember when you gifted me that Super Dry shirt. A really nice Super Dry one.
Yeah. Was this recently?
It was recent.
That's not me, dumbass. That's Curtis, remember?
Oh, shit. Yo, thank you, Curtis. Well, Curtis and Lingjie then, right? But, you're like, yo, da-da-da. So I tried it on, and I was like, damn, I'm still too fat.
Yeah. What about now?
Even now, it's still too tight. Like, it just looks like I'm wearing like a youth-size t-shirt, if that makes sense. Like, it's like the sleeve is like up here, So it's not portioned properly.
Curtis misjudged how large of a human being you are.
Yo, dude, yeah, I was so bummed out. It's a nice fucking shirt. So I gave it to my brother. And,
see, there you go.
And it fits him perfectly. And he was like, he was like giving shit about it. I was like, oh, it looks like it's already ruined. But I'm like, bitch, I was like, that's Super Dry. And first of all, it's just the press on it. Yeah, it's the style. He was like, I guess. I'm like, yo, this fucking guy.
I guess that is a plus to get like hand-me-downs. But on the flip side, I just got everything new.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
But then if you're the older sibling, you also get everything new. So it's almost the same thing, right?
Yeah, and my dad would always say, he's like, look, man, that's the perk of being the first oldest.
Yeah.
Even though you have all the fucking responsibility and the PTSD, the benefit is you get first dibs, bro.
You get first dibs on everything. So I guess it sucks to be the younger of the siblings. If you have to be a sibling, you should probably want to be the older one.
You know what? We don't...
Actually, middle child.
I was going to say, we can't really talk about like that diaspora of the middle child. That's the only thing I realized.
I was trying to say diaspora, by the way.
Yes.
Middle child is probably the best child. Youngest child, I would say, is like... Actually, you know what?
No, I think you're right. Oh, the youngest baby. Let's just say out of 3, right? 3?
Oldest is the worst?
Mm-hmm.
Even though you get the new stuff?
Because you're getting... because not only... You're the experiment, bro. You're like when Captain America doesn't become Captain America and you become like the fucking villain. That's like them just fucking like doing experiments on you.
Middle child is... People say that's the worst, but I don't know.
I think it's always usually
on paper, it seems like it's okay. Being the youngest seems like it's the best because at that point, the parents really don't give a shit anymore.
They don't care about you.
So they're just like YOLO you, right?
YOLO you.
You can do whatever you want as the youngest kid.
I have a friend where like he's the youngest. I could tell like he was seeking the approval of his parents because he felt...
It depends on the child too,
yeah,
right?
dude. Yeah, that's a real thing, man.
My wife is the youngest of the sisters. And I always say she's the worst of the sisters because she's the youngest. She had like the least amount of responsibilities.
Yeah, by then the parents are already older,
right? And they have
settled.
they have the older kids to rely on in terms of like when they actually need stuff. I'm like, if your mom is going to you for something, then she's really desperate. You better help out for sure.
For some reason, I don't know what it is. It's like the rules of 1, 2, and 3. But I noticed like the rule of 3 is like if you have 3 kids. I noticed the degree of fucked upness that the first child is a lot. Every time I meet the oldest out of 3, yo, they're fucking dark.
Expectations, right?
Yo, they are super dark, bro. Like, I'm like, you are like Joaquin Phoenix, like fucking Joker level, like mentally, like, yo, there's something off about you, bro.
Well, is that worse than when you're an only child? Like another negative about being an only child is that you bear the weight of all the responsibilities by yourself, period. There is no one to rely on. Even if you have like close cousins or stuff, that's not the same when you talk about like having to take care of your own household, your own parents, right? It's all on you, period.
I would say like you're probably one of the few like, like that one child that I've known for like the longest time, right? I was like, you kind of make it look like it's easy. Like it looks like it's like, oh, okay, like it seems like that's the way to go. Obviously, I know there's like, things and tribulations you have to go through, but
that's my doorbell, by the way. It's fine.
Someone's at the front door. That's probably one of our listeners out there. Guys, so we get like people, like fanatics here that try to like, give us their babies to sign.
What the?
Shake. Oh shit! Look at that, another fan right there. Sorry about that.
Why is your alarm going off?
I have to do something on the side here, but I could do that later. But yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so I think it's okay. I mean, okay. There are lots of times when I think about, oh, this would be a lot easier if I had a sibling right now. It's the same doorbell. Okay, let me go get the doorbell then.
Hey guys, we're gonna do a quick little break. Shout out to our sponsors right here from Aquafina, the world's best trusted water. If you guys like microplastics, we are the brand to go to. I don't know what else to say. It's I believe they get the water from Flint, Michigan. I'm running out of things to say.
All right, guys, I am back, and Ben is reacting very poorly to a text message. Is everything okay, Ben?
Oh yeah. So speaking of my dad, he likes to collect coins, silver coins and stuff. So let's say he wanted me to buy one of these coins. It's like super rare.
Yeah. And your order went through?
It didn't even go through. Look, I never saw this before. It's saying, thank you for your patience. Due to extraordinary high traffic, we are using this virtual waiting room. Estimated wait time, 31 fucking minutes. But yeah,
to try to buy a coin.
He's been bugging. Speaking of my dad, like he likes to be like, hey, I need to talk to you. I'm like, what do you need me to order? So
what do you
speaking
need
of
me to
responsibilities,
order?
he's like, yeah, like this coin I need it, blah, blah, blah. So like my dad's retired. And one of the good things about him is that he doesn't drink. He likes to smoke still, but he doesn't like to drink. So he only drinks like if it's like us usually. And he's like, hey, like it's a hobby. And he always says this, like he's like, once I die, all this is inherited to you.
Ben's talking about his dad's coin collection or coin collecting hobby.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like it's still money. But he's like, yeah, but
But at least you're investing in actual currency.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is like, technically,
it is an investment.
At the bare minimum, it's worth its face value.
Yeah, and
right, it's something.
I'm doing something that's like what rich, non-poor people are actually trying to do. So that's the one thing. That's the one thing. So yeah.
So the responsibilities I was saying is like there are lots of times when I wish I had someone just to piggyback off of, or just to deal with the small stuff.
Yeah.
You probably know this as the oldest kid. Whenever your parents have any kind of like paperwork they need you to do something with,
oh yeah,
you deal with it. I know your brother doesn't.
He sucks at it, bro.
In theory, he could.
Yeah. He's gotten better.
He speaks English. He reads English. So in theory, he can like figure it out.
He fucking majored in that shit. The fuck?
So that's like one thing where, oh man, like I wish someone was there just to deal with this minor thing. But I always have to deal with the minor things, which I don't mind. In the grand scheme of things, like that small shit really doesn't make a big deal. But it's like saying if you have to, I don't know, clean the floors every day, right? It's not that big of a thing, but it'd be nicer if you didn't have to clean the floors every day.
Yeah. I would say now my brother has kind of like he's gotten so much better where he's become just more responsible. There's still things that he needs to do, but he's being more receptive to it now, which is like mind blowing. Because before it was like I thought he was gonna stab me, bro. Like I'm like it felt like prison in that shit.
Hopefully he can help you out with some of these things though. So like I think it's still the same for you though. Even when your parents get older, even though your brother is not as quote unquote useful as you want him to be, he can still help you do some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff. Like you would have to delegate the things to him, but he would still like help you with things. It is a 2-person operation with one boss and one employee.
But
right. It's still better than like a sole proprietor business like what I'm running with this family, right?
Yeah. And you kind of nailed on the head where it's like, sometimes it'll be nice, like if there's something you're going through, like a very traumatic, hard time with your family, and you have someone that you can vent to, or just like doing like an activity and stuff, like it does make a difference. Like
it does.
I used to get accustomed, and so sometimes too with my brother, it's like if I'm gonna go do something, I will think about him, like, hey, you want to come with me or da da da. Even like be like, hey, like you want to just run to the deli, little things like that, the small things, and it's like, oh, okay, it's cool, and it is nice just having like an extra body where it's like I know his capabilities are kind of capped.
But you'll give him a task within the scope of his capabilities.
Yeah, so
just fine.
Yeah, so the annoying thing. Okay, another con is sometimes the lack of privacy. That's the one thing I can't.
Oh, I have so much privacy.
Yeah. See, like I'm jealous of you about that. Like I really do enjoy my privacy.
Yeah.
So there'll be times where my father included, they'll come into my room and borrow something of my shit, and then like I'll come home and then like there's. Especially clothing.
Well, does your brother do that, or did he do that when you guys grew up?
My brother was doing that when I was growing up. He would still kind of do it, and he'll forget to return it. That was the thing. So I knew it wasn't malicious, but there were times where I remember he'll be like he'll borrow recently, like sometimes I do like to smoke a weed pen, right, just to like calm down at the end of the night and stuff. I'm coming home. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna watch ESPN or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck is this shit? And I'm like, I forget that. Oh wait, my brother might be the one doing it.
Yeah.
Because I do offer it to him.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yo, fuck face, blah blah blah. Like, do you have my pen? He'll be like, oh yeah, my bad, bro. He'll come in. I'll give it back.
And it's empty.
Yo, and then
it's empty.
And that's why he didn't want to say shit, because he knew, like, oh fuck,
It's empty right now.
You return this. It's lighter. I'm like, I was like, dude, just save me some. Like, if you're gonna borrow my shit, or give me a heads up. Just give me a text, like, hey man, I ripped your jeans or some shit. Like, just that's all I asked for.
I can't imagine growing up with no sense of privacy or no sense of personal space.
It's were your parents really good with that? Like,
So my parents were busy working, so by default, I got private time, personal space, and because I'm an only child, I have private time and personal space. The only time that in my childhood life that I didn't have private time was in the first 2 apartments that we grew up in. We rented, right? So we rented the floor, but then we would sub-rent one of the bedrooms to someone else.
Ooh.
So
the one that when you guys used to live closer to me, that place, or something else?
Well, they were both close to you. You're talking about the one where I lived on the first floor?
Yeah.
On that apartment, we had the bigger bedroom. Me and my parents shared the bigger bedroom, and we sublet the smaller bedroom to someone else. So I didn't have like full private time, but I could still close the door to that bedroom or just be in the living room.
Got you.
Most of the time, the person that sublet that room was out working anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay, so it felt like they weren't even there.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't that big of a deal. So like having private space, I grew up being more independent and just like being able to do things on my own, and I enjoyed being on my own. And I can't imagine if I grew up and had to share shit, especially private space.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to like watch TV by yourselves, or just like, I don't know, bum on the couch doing nothing, and you can't really do that.
Whack off in peace and shit.
Especially when you're going through puberty, you need like private time, and space.
It gets messy, like we're trying to work out the kinks, And I remember, do you remember that time? It has nothing to do with being a sibling, or whatever, but I remember one time, like, I think it was you, me, and another friend, and then we found like a porno VHS. VHS is a video, guys. It's a video cassette.
Do you know what VHS stands for?
Video home system?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know. But yeah, I remember we found it. I forgot what it was called, but like all I remember was the opening scene. I think was there's a guy with a credit card, and he swipes the credit card in the girl's butt.
What the?
And then we stopped watching it because I think like someone's parents was coming, or we were scared. I forgot where one of us had the video, and I was so upset because I was like, "Wow, that's how I remember the credit card just swiping through the butt cheeks."
I don't remember that part.
You remember that, bro? And I don't know if it got declined or accepted. I don't know, bro. But, okay, I remember that scene, bro. That's all I remember, dude.
I remember finding a VHS with you guys, but I don't remember that particular scene.
Bro, it looked like, and the crazy part was like, it was just planted there. Like, I feel like someone left it there and we're watching us, like, watch these kids pick up this porno. Because it was just perfectly there on the floor, like, intact. It had no cover.
It was outside my apartment, right?
I think it was outside your apartment, dude. I was like, is this a gift from God? Like, is God real? Like, I didn't know. I also
God knows that we're going through puberty.
Yeah, dude. That's what I was thinking, man.
Ben's been praying a lot again to a different God that time. Okay, let's see. One con of being an only child is you kind of learn to develop certain toxic personality traits.
Huh. Okay.
Selfishness and lack of empathy for other people's opinions.
All right.
Now, look at me as a human being.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I kind of don't.
You kind of don't give a shit.
I kind of don't care about other people's opinions for good and for bad.
Yeah. I remember me and Lingjie were just talking before recording, and Lingjie was just like, Ben, I'm not a good person, but I get shit done. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, I kind of respect the hustle. Well, I was like, damn, bro, like, that's a lot of meta, like, self, intuition or whatever.
You just gotta know who you are, I think.
Yeah, but I was like, no, that's not true, because you've always been very charitable, I remember. Unless now I'm like scared, like, oh shit.
I probably wanted those tax deductions or something.
This guy.
Or like the equivalent of more credit in real life.
No, that was the thing. I remember like you were kind of like, like we were like that sibling thing, because you do a lot of hand-me-downs. Like hey, bro, you want this because you're poor? It's pretty nice, huh? Wouldn't you like it? It'll look nice in your room, huh? Yeah, I bet you want this shit. I'm like, yeah.
Maybe that was just me asking for like a sibling, subconsciously asking for
Yeah,
like a sibling or something.
Yeah, man, maybe, dude. So
I don't know.
I remember that. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I think that's one of the I don't know, pros of it.
I guess you're more giving. Overall, I
Uh-huh.
don't know if this is because you have siblings that
Yeah.
you're overall a more giving
I like gift giving.
person than I am. And I don't
Yeah.
just mean like physical tangible objects. I mean just in
Right.
terms of like your mental space, your time, things like that. I don't think
Yeah.
about you guys at all. When
Yeah, man.
yeah, like that's not my thing.
Yeah, you got yo, Lingjie has a timer.
If you need help, I will help you. But I don't go out of my way to think about whether or not you need help to help you.
Yeah. So I'll be like, hey guys, like you guys are how are you guys?
Yeah.
Are you guys good? Lingjie doesn't say shit like that. He'll
Why?
be like, all right, guys, you want to grab dinner? All right, cool. And that's his like indirect way of saying like, are you guys good? Like, okay, does should we break bread together? Little things like that.
Yeah. So I am trying to change. Okay. You have anyone to talk about? Okay. So one thing that I realized when I was Googling this is that like when you are an only child, a lot of the people that you talk to are older adults.
Yeah.
So you tend to, because you don't have siblings to like interact most of the time when you go to family events and stuff, I kind of like just talk as if I'm one of the adults because I was like the only kid that was there. So in some ways that made me it made me mature faster and it made it easier to talk with older adults, even like as a kid. So even now, like when I see my aunts, my uncles, other family members and stuff, and we have dinner and stuff, I talk as if I'm like one of that same level, like a sibling of theirs, sort of, as opposed to like their
How young were you?
nephew.
How young were you when you like had this like?
I just meant like overall, like as a kid, like as like a teenager and stuff like that. You know,
This explains a lot now.
going to things like I was okay talking with older adults because I didn't have other younger kids to talk with, and I was just like,
This kind of explains a lot now.
Why?
Because like you always had this like way of speaking, like, hey, just like, hey, like we're all adults here, very mature, not like silly. Sometimes you don't really try to be silly, unless it's like
penis jokes.
Yeah, yeah, or it's with the guys and stuff.
Yeah,
but I noticed that about you, huh? Because I'm thinking about the way I talk to my parents, and it's always been, my dad would always say like, you can't talk back to me. You always just got to say yes and bow your head or some shit, right?
Well, that's more of a Korean cultural thing.
Right. I'm like, yo, dad, you're crazy, right? Like, fuck that, because I'm like, I still make fun of him for it. I'm like, see that? There were times where you were fucking wrong and crazy.
Yeah.
And, I'm never gonna, let you down for that. But I see sometimes like, I don't know. I see you talking to your parents. It seems it seems like you're doing like a business thing. Like, yeah, I will get to that.
I was having dinner with my wife at a place the other night when we went out. It was at a fondue place in the city. And we had this family that sat next to us, right? It was a mom, dad, a son, and a daughter. And the kids looked like they were probably like older teenagers because they were talking about college stuff, right?
Yeah.
At first, me and my wife were trying to figure out what was the dynamic between these people. I was like, maybe it's a teenage boy going out to dinner with his girlfriend's parents. Because they were so cordial and they were so polite about everything.
Uh-huh.
I was like, this must be something like that. Because whenever I see people that I know go out to eat food with their parents, it's never this feeling, this kind of dynamic, right? So I was really trying to figure, I'm like, who's going out with who's and whose parents are these, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine if you're a teenager and you go out to dinner with your girlfriend's parents, you try to be very polite, you try to like, maybe, just like be nice overall and like a upfront citizen kind of thing, right?
Right.
Eventually they said mom and dad to each other. I'm like, these are their kids. But they were so nice and cordial to their dad and their mom.
Yeah.
I felt like, is this just how all white people have dinner together?
I was going to say, white families, you guys are so cute and adorable. It's so interesting.
No one took out their phones.
Yeah.
The kids are all paying attention. They're talking about poetry at some point.
Yeah. I think it's really cool when I see, especially if I'm working, right? And like I have a family, that I'm serving a family, I should say. I really do enjoy seeing how like respectful and like they're actually just enjoying their meal and just talking and stuff. And like I was like, damn, like that's really, really like getting lost. So one thing I remember my mom always tried to like emphasize, she'd always say like, we should always try to have a real sit down dinner as much as we can.
Always.
And I know you do it very well. I know you try to make it out of your way to do that. And I thought about it, like, yeah, that's true. Like there is something about like not having your phone, just eating and stuff. And even my dad, he'll be like, hey, we're trying to, eat. Like, he'll catch me. And I'll be, I'm sorry.
You mean taking out your phone stuff?
Yeah, because I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm working or something, He's like, yeah, it's okay, but, just try to limit it. I was like, oh, shit, thanks for, just keeping me in check.
That's nice.
Yeah.
All right. Give me one last one, a pro or con that you want to talk about being a sibling.
The pro is, it is nice just having someone, like have your back and stuff, unless they fucking hate you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing too. It's like, I know my brother can't fight. He's not in great shape either. But it's just like nice knowing, like, he was like, yo, I got your back, bro. Like,
just in case.
Yo, your friend, fuck that guy. Like stuff like that. I remember like, he'll do that kind of stuff. So that is the cool thing about having like a camaraderie, like teamwork aspect of the whole thing.
It would suck to be an only child and not have close friends.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, you're right.
If I thought about it when I grew up, if I didn't have like a close set of friends, it would actually be very, very lonely. Because the pros of being an only child are great if you can sometimes still have the benefits of having other people around you. So it was like a choice to go out on the weekends or after school to hang out with your friends and then go back home and do the quote unquote positive things about being an only child. But if I didn't have like friends to do the other, brotherly things with,
right,
I don't think I would enjoy being an only child as much.
Yeah. I was going to ask, I noticed like some of like, like those like, crazy people out there. I wonder if like they have siblings or not, or if they're only childs. But like, I think statistically, most of them tend to be the only child. And I think it's also because of like isolation, where it's like, you look at their social network. So like, do they have friends? Do they do activities? Do they have hobbies? But if they seem like they're secluded, that's where it gets really, really tricky and stuff.
So it's just about relationships then, whether siblings are like a forced relationship, so you have a higher percentage of not feeling lonely, as opposed to when you're an only child, you kind of have to make an effort to make friends and like have those tight relationships.
Yeah, I would say this. I realize like when you have like an older sister, I kind of noticed that like, and you're like the younger brother, I noticed how much like it seems like the sister seems to be very tough and very like, she seems very powerful, and they would always say, all the younger brothers would always be like, oh man, my older sister, she's tough, bro. She'll kick
you up.
She'll kick my fucking ass, bro. And I'm like, damn, I'm like, yo, respect. I like that, Yeah. Because it means like, yo, she's not a pushover. So
maybe she was like forced not to be because she had like younger boy siblings.
Yeah, exactly. So she's like, oh shit, I can't let this little kid fuck me up. Yeah, exactly, dude.
Let's see. Do I have one more before we get to
let me
see. No, I think we kind of like interweaved all the stuff that I talked about.
All right.
Like knowing how, I think for the most part, the cons of the cons. The pro is pro about being an only child is just learning to be more independent.
Yes.
And if like there are a few words that describe me for better or worse, it's just I feel like I'm very independent.
You are. Yeah.
And I think that is a direct result of me being an only kid.
I think it's pretty interesting. We kind of are like the representation of our environment. Yeah. Right? I think we kind of exemplify that. And 10 years from now, we'll probably still be learning more things about ourselves that we don't know yet.
On to my favorite part of the whole podcast, is ranting and raving.
Yeah, man.
Where Ben and I like to... Oh, wait. This is the miscellaneous episode. Ben, you do it.
So, what's it? I think this was a great episode.
No, the ranting and raving.
Oh, yeah. Guys, we made it finally to the end. This is our favorite part of the show called Ranting and Raving, where me and Lingjie will talk about something we like or something we hate. Lingjie, what do you have for us today?
I just want to... We'll try to make this quick because we're running a little bit long. I just want to give a quick shout out to my sisters-in-law for doing the whole babysitting, rotating kind of thing.
Yes.
Because it is a great benefit to have a wife, to have siblings who have kids of similar ages and that want to have a sleepover together.
Right, yeah.
So that gives us the privilege of like having these multi-day, get the hell away from the child.
Like a staycation kind of thing.
So I am grateful and also kind of scared for when it's our turn to take care of 4 kids for when they have the time off.
I didn't realize it. You're going to have to,
it's a cycle. It's a cycle. So I'm hoping there is lots of movies because, movies are the best because kids just sit still.
And hopefully just feed them and they just want to pass out eventually.
Something like that. So I'm very, very grateful to have like a family structure that can do something like that. So, and I'm glad that my son actually likes his cousin. So he wants to play with them and stuff.
Yeah. It's really cool when you have like relatives like that.
Just imagine you have a like a sleepover with people that you hate.
You're forced, bro. That's prison. That's prison, dude.
Yeah, it's like
it's baby prison.
And then your kids just calling every day, like, when can I go home?
Yeah, they're like texting you. He's like, when did you learn how to text? It's like, I don't want to say it out loud, Dad.
Whose phone are you using right now?
It's like, Dad, I'm gonna FaceTime you. Who the hell are you, kid?
All right, Ben, what do you got this week?
Speaking of, I want to do a shout out to my cousin and their lovely little daughter.
Oh, nice.
She was born. They call them preemies, I guess.
Yeah, preemies. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like, that's kind of a cute way of putting something very like sad, but she's super healthy. She's fucking strong. She has a good grip. Yeah, I was like, so in terms of like the health wise, like she's pretty much hopefully in the clear. Knock on wood. I will eventually.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, shout out to families and siblings, all that.
Nice. That's their first kid.
First kid, dude. Yeah. So he was stressing, man. I remember.
To keep in theme with this episode, are they planning to have more than one?
I asked the wife, and she kind of wasn't like saying no. She was like, maybe I'll think about it in the future. That I thought was very interesting.
My wife was telling me this the other day because we were talking about some other people and if they're gonna have like a second kid or stuff, right?
Yeah.
And she was saying if the couple has to have a deep conversation about whether or not they want to have a second or a third kid, most likely they don't want to have a second or third kid, but they just want to make sure that they talk it through to make sure they're both on the same page, or in case they're missing anything. Because if you want a second kid, usually right away, like, I want a second kid.
You're right.
Barring health issues, I want a second kid.
The timing and everything like that.
So if you're having a discussion,
you're
probably like not sure, not
that's
having.
True.
You probably don't want.
So interesting enough, since she was a preemie, right? The baby was underwhelmingly tiny, right?
Yeah.
So the delivery wasn't that painful. So I was like, hey,
according to you, who's not doing the delivery,
right? But no, she said, she's like, she mentioned it. I was like, that's why I said, like, if you have another one, and this one is just like normal levels of weight.
Yeah.
I was like, are you prepared for that? Because this was kind of like a practice run.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh shit, you're right. And then she was like, I don't know, like I'll still think about it.
Trying to scare her from having a second kid.
I wasn't trying to, but she was like, oh yeah, that's true. So that's it's interesting about that whole part, because I noticed that a lot of wives, or mommies, I should say, they don't remember the pain. Is that a thing? Like
how the hell should I know? Why are you asking me this?
I feel like you were there when we had like the whole gathering.
But I don't know
if talking about that.
But I don't know how deeply seared into my wife's memory that the pain is, or or the lack of pain is. Right? Yeah. I'm sure if it's excruciatingly bad, that they'll probably remember. If it's maybe like average, they'll remember it, but not like have nightmares about it.
Yeah, no PTSD about it.
Right, something like that. All right. Shout out to your
cousin.
What do you call your cousin's kid? Is that your second cousin?
Oh shit, I don't know.
I think your cousin's kids are your second cousin.
That's really?
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know if that.
Yeah, because I want to have like a more powerful, like authoritative title.
She's gonna call you uncle, but in terms of technically, I think that is your second cousin.
I guess so.
Let me know if I'm wrong, guys. Let me know in the comments below, or shoot us a DM.
All right, guys. It looks like we're at the end. Please leave us a 5-star review, a 6-star review, if that's even a thing. We always appreciate when you reach out to us. Lingjie is.
I like how Ben is saying this outro, and every sentence he's looking at me as if he's for like
affirmations.
Yes.
Yeah, because dude, I'm like, I'm gonna say something wrong. I'm gonna say the wrong podcast name. I'll be like, yo, thank you guys for joining us. Fucking dumbfounded or some shit, like fun with dumb or whatever, like
the Joe Rogan Experience. Please subscribe.
So yeah, Joe, thanks for stopping by.
Like, thank you, Pablo Torres, for this new podcast.
Oh man, this set looks fucking weird now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed today's episode. I think this was a good one. It feels good.
Hopefully you guys have a good October, because I think it should be coming up on October right now.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed the last ghost episode from last week.
Ooh, spooky. I'm Italian.
I still remember. If anything, I hope you guys enjoyed the autumn, unless you're on the other side of the world. What season is it in Australia right now?
I think it's summertime. Oops, and I dropped my phone.
I think you dropped your phone. All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See ya. Adios.